Okay, we're going to put the seal in now. This is a brand new seal. Before you put the seal in, make sure your woodruff key that's in your crank, that you can see it, the little thing on the side of the slot, make sure that's in good condition. If it's damaged, you need to change it. As the seal's in, before you put the seal in, put a little bit of smear of some grease right around the outside of the seal as you push it on. You don't want it to go in skew with. As you can see there, the picture just jumped to the end. I'm not going to show you all the little tapping that I did. It's not hard to do this. You just need to tap it in so that it's nice and flush. You want it flat with the surface, just like I was doing there with my finger. You want it smooth with the surface. It's not hard, just take your time with it. Don't be damaging it. So remember, put a little bit of grease on the edge of the surface of the seal before you put it on. And tap it in, nice and smooth. Don't be damaging it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's all done. Now we're going to fit this. This is the pulley hub. That's what it's called. You see the little slot in the side? That's what fits over or onto the woodruff key that's on your crank. If that's damaged, that slot, and the woodruff key is damaged, you need to replace them. You can see the slot there, and it's going to go on. You're going to tap it in now. Not hard, you're just going to tap it on a little bit, because when you put the big nut back on now onto the crank nut, it'll pull that on. It'll pull it on nice and tight. Make sure you put a bit of Loctite on, and make sure the bolt is nice and dry. Don't be putting it on all oily. Make sure everything's clean. Everything has to be clean whenever you do this job. Make sure it's done. So you put the lock nut on. It has two washers on mine, so I just put it back for back. Exactly the same. Now you can't torque this nut up yet because it's going to turn the engine over when you actually start to torque it up. So just going to use the ratchet here now, and we're going to tighten it up as far as it'll go. And then we're going to fit the pulley and put the 6 bolts back on. See how my engine's clean? It's good practice. Keep it all clean. Even if you take the pulley off and you haven't replaced anything yet, get all that cleaned up. It's important you have it all clean. Plus it's easier to work on, and you can see if there's any drips later on from anything else. So I just do this now till it gets tight. As in the first video where I showed you how to take it off, all this, we're just doing this in reverse. It's not an hard job. It's pretty much the same on every engine you do. Same process, taking them off, putting them back on. 6 brand new nuts that are going on with the Allen key head fittings, where they call them hex or whatever. You have to line this up with the holes again now. I probably have that on nice and straight now, but I'm lying on my side here. I've got the camera in the way, so. And once you're happy you've got them lined up, clean nuts, bit of Loctite on. You don't need loads. Don't just do it on one side and tighten it up. You don't want that pulley going on skew with. You need it to go on the same all the way around and get pulled on nice and flat. You want the surface to be flat. You don't want it twisted. It's important you don't get it twisted. Don't forget to put the Loctite on. And when you've finished doing all this with hand tightening, you can torque these ones up. It's not a massive setting that you have to tighten these up to, and it's not going to turn the engine, so you will be able to torque these 6 nuts up. Look in your manual, same on any vehicle, look in your manual, get the torque setting. You need it to be go on flush. It's important it goes on flush. Don't have it twisted. Right, we've jumped to the end now. We're going to torque these up. Watch how I do it. Go on the other side. Same all over. Just rotate it all different round. Notice how it doesn't turn the engine? It's only a low setting. The idea with the torque setting is that you're doing every bolt the same. If you was to just hand tighten these, one will be tight, the other one will be not as tight or a bit more tighter than the other one. Torque settings are just so it's uniformly the same all over. Same with your cylinder heads and everything where it's got a row of bolts. It's important you do it. I've double checked them all. That's done. That's finished with now, that. Now we're just going to set up now, put this back on. Because when we took it off, that ratchet, that mole grips with those chains on, that was on the other way because we was turning the nut off the opposite way. Now we're going to tighten it up now. So we have to fit this mole grips and clamps. You get these from Machine Mart. Good bit of kit. It just fits over that pulley and it fits over everything else that you need to take off on this engine. Just get it just right, and this is the way I do it. Just lift it up and it works a treat. It is a bit easier for me because I've took the front of the engine, all the engine bodywork off, the radiators out, everything, because I did all the front of the engine. If you'd seen the first video, which is in this collection of what I've got on my page on my YouTube channel, you can see them all. So watch the first video first, and this is the second one just showing you to put it back on. Right, axle stand, this is what I use. I've got to get it just right, so as the mole grips come down, it sits onto the axle stand. And that's good enough to do the job, that. I don't forget the Loctite's been on that nut now for a good half an hour, so it's starting to go off a bit, so now you've got to put a bit of force on it, watch. See how the mole grips are going on the axle stand and holding it all? Now you'll hear the click. And that's it. That's how you put the new seal on, tighten all your nuts up. Same on any engine, it's not difficult, very simple to do. As with everything, guys, just be safe when you're doing these jobs, yeah? Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.